So this is something I'm going to encourage all of you to practice on someone. Standing back, perceiving the aura, feeling it in your hands, and essentially just trying to get it balanced around the person. And at the same time, giving yourself the opportunity to pull your own aura in about 6 to 8 inches around your body. And once you get used to doing that, and you're just calling it, your system knows what to do. You're just calling it in. You will do it. Any questions about that? Does anybody need to dialogue about that? I'm just going to unmute everybody because I don't know if everybody knows how to get in the chat room. Anybody have any questions about that?
I do.
Hey, Nancy.
Hi. I just can you hear me okay?
Yeah, very good.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm Reiki attuned. I did Reiki level 2, but I haven't practiced it. And is that it's weird to have these on. Is that something that I can use kind of the same way, doing the auric fields, but kind of pulling in, you know, the Reiki attunement?
That's a bonus. That's just a bonus.
What's that?
No, that's a bonus.
Okay.
It's like, I was just essentially telling people you don't have to be Reiki attuned or have any other healing modality, that you can just use the earth energy that's coming already through your hand chakras and smooth. And it's that simple.
But that same energy, the attuned energy, it remembers it. It'll come through like just doing the auric field. Okay.
That's a bonus. That's just
I need to wake that back up.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Anybody else? Are you good to go?
Well, there's one thing, I've also heard that it's helpful to, in certain situations, to make your aura big and to set a boundary between you and somebody else. So I was curious about that.
Well, I mean, that's a point of view. It's not one I share.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably from my own personal experience. So I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying from my experience, I want my aura close.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spread it out. But boundaries are something we talk about a lot in here. With roses, protection, bubbles, securing your space so no energy comes in. So I think so long as you are secure and no one's actually getting in your energy, it doesn't necessarily matter how big you put your aura out, as long as you're not collecting a bunch of stuff out there and bringing it in. So for me, I just prefer to have it close. So maybe you can play with that and see what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Josh. Anything else? Is that good on the basic aura stuff? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move on then. So layers of the aura as they correlate to readings. This is a great focus tool. And again, my apologies for the neon nature of this graphic. It's like, aura. This is how I teach all my students how to read with energy if you don't know how to read already or you don't have a method, but this is how you can do it. We look at the first layer of the aura. It's going to tell you about body issues and health and wellness. The second layer is going to talk to us about your emotional wellness, and often they go together. And so a mind, body, spirit, you'll see that someone who is really depressed or high anxiety, it's going to play out in their body somewhere. The third layer is going to tell us about issues related to family. I mean, your family of origin, and it's also a good place to connect to dead people. There's other ways to connect to dead people, but I should say dead people do show up in here. The fourth layer is going to talk to us about our romantic relationships and or marriages. The fifth layer is going to talk to us about money, and the sixth layer is going to talk to us about life purpose. And the seventh layer is going to tell us how people perceive us or the person we're reading. So what we do is when we're in a quiet state, we look at the person or get their image in our mindset, and then we perceive the first layer of the aura. And in the first layer of, and all the layers, by the way, you can go in depth in terms of looking at the male/female energy, because each layer has those dynamics. You can read the male-female energy if you like. You can read the speed of the energy going through the aura. So for instance, if I'm looking at someone's physicality and I'm like, wow, this energy is really sluggish. It's hardly moving. It feels like mud. And they're like, yeah, I've been laid out for 3 weeks. I can't, my leg is broken. I mean, you'll usually get feedback, but you can start with looking at the speed of the energy. And if you need more information, you can look at the masculine, feminine to see how that's playing out in their space. The other thing you can do, this isn't about necessarily the aura, if you can look at or create an image of a body like this one, this graphic, the outline, you can ask, where is energy congregating in the body? And so I don't necessarily just read the aura, but that's the question I usually ask. And so the energy usually shows up in an area. Like for women, a lot of time it's down in the baby making area. For men, it's often up in the chest area or around the eyes or in the knees. You just notice where the energy is. So like when we look at the rose, we put a name or we put a question in the rose and we watch what it does. Same thing, we put a question out there, where is the energy congregating, and it'll show up in the body graphic we have in our mind, and then we just start talking about what that is. And then it usually leads into the next, to talking about emotional wellness. And again, whether we're actually reading the aura itself or we are using it as a focal point, I don't know that it makes any difference, as long as you're able to get the information. Any questions about this? I'm going to unmute everybody. I made it sound easy. It is easy, actually. All right.
It's easy if you see auras.
But what we're talking about and why we do these exercises is to get used to seeing with your mind's eye.
Right.
It's just as good. It doesn't matter that I can see auras with my eyeballs. It is no more interesting or effective to me than looking with my mind's eye, because I'm so practiced at it. And you should have the same point of view. Really, it's no different. It's all energy at the end of the day anyhow. It's just what form of energy you're relating to or looking at. So let's play for a moment before we move on. Everybody, let's close our eyes and let's go ahead and imagine an outline. You don't have to have all these neon colors if you like, but just the white graphic, or me or anyone else that you can think of. Put a body up in front of you. See if you can generate the image of a body in front of you. If you can see that. And it doesn't have to be a white body. It can be an actual human body if you like, but see if you're able to generate the image and put it in front of you. The torso, and it can be clothed or not clothed. I don't care. That's not the issue. But see, it's really about generating the image. Can you create an image in front of you? And then notice the head, the shoulders, the torso, the hips, the legs, the feet, the back, the hands, the eyeballs. You can even look at the brain inside. You can look at the organs. Just start to, and if you know anatomy at all, which I'm poor at anatomy, but you can look at any part of the body you want to. If you're able to generate the image and have a focal point, then you can begin to ask questions about it.